Alright, hey guys, Pax here, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, it's going to be a Dragonite EX deck showcase. Hands down one of my favorite Pokemon overall. Just look at this guy it's about to give you the biggest dap up of existence. I've said this before, but yeah, this guy's about to dap you so hard that you're about to enter a whole other dimension. You're about to enter the second dimension, going from the third to the second. Yeah, this is the Dragonite EX deck. This is more of an updated version of this deck. And as you can see, this is the deck right here. It's very high risk, high reward. I feel like this deck, there's gonna be some instances where like you will lose, but the potential for this deck is insane because of course Dragonite doesn't need much of an introduction. This, yeah, Giga Impact requires 3 energy, does 180. Main downside is that after attacking you can't attack. However, you could pull some Screw the Rules mechanics very similar to Buzzwole EX. Lyra for this deck being very useful. As you can see, Lyra, yeah, switch one of your active Pokemon that has damage in it with one of your bench Pokemon. So let's say in a hypothetical scenario Dragonite is damaged, you just attack, so next turn you sub him out. You can either sub in any of your Pokemon, Sylveon, preferably Pichu. Lyra doesn't count as a retreat, so you could sub in, let's say Pichu. You could retreat with Pichu, sub Dragonite back in. So theoretically, you could do Giga Impact 3 turns in a row. So yeah, very fun combo. We also have the non-EX Dragonite. There's gonna be some instances where this Dragonite won't get as much value as this guy. Hopefully, we should see some gameplay with this guy in this video. But again, the main focus is this Dragonite EX. Doing 180, one-shotting most cards, even if they have Giant Cape or Leaf. If you guys are new to my channel, consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss out on Pokemon Pocket content. It really does help me out as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right into the deck showcase. Alright, here we are in our first battle. We are going second. We are also going against the Latios/Latios solo deck. If you guys need my deck showcases, how these deck showcases usually go, I'm going to release 3 battles. First battle is a solo battle just because I feel for a deck. Next 2 are PvP. And okay, this is a very interesting matchup against this deck because keep in mind for Latios, yeah, this 20 damage plus 20 more if Latios can get out. So there's a high chance that this Pichu will die. And with that being said, we need to get... We got an Eevee. Okay, this is not the worst. You're definitely gonna run into this. I feel like this is the main downside for this deck is that it's very high risk, high reward. So you're gonna run into this scenario. Not the worst, but we are subbing an Eevee just for the ability right here. Hope he doesn't red card /Mars. I know he can't, but that's something you have to note while using this deck is that depending on your hand, red card /Mars could mess you up tremendously. So yeah, he doesn't get Latios out. Okay, so he's getting some pretty bad RNG as well. At this point, Sylveon. Alright, so we were able to bounce back. Might as well get both Dratinis out. Feed one of the Dratinis. Retreat into Pichu. Feed this Dratini. Next turn I can just evolve into Dragonite. And this is where it gets very risky. Again, red card Mars. Look at my hand, man. I'm getting insane value next turn. Alright, evolves into Gardevoir. Again, this guy is getting pretty bad luck not at being able to get that Latios. Alright, here we go. Dragonite is out. Sub him in. And this is very great because we also have Lyra. So yeah, of course, retreat. And this is what I was talking about earlier. So, yeah. So, one-shotting this Latios. Next turn, if it's probably going to attack with the other Latios, because of that, I can Lyra. Because keep in mind, to do Lyra, for it to work, your active Pokemon has to be damaged. And let's do the Buzzwole strat. It's essentially very similar to Buzzwole. So, yeah, 180. Kind of overkill against Latios. And again, I feel like this is a pretty good battle to go up against because I do want to showcase this guy's max potential. And just being able to just do consistent 180 damage, granted, you do need a bit of luck, of course. It's pretty satisfying. So, here we go. Yes, this guy is basically like Bucky from like Marvel Rivals. Like, yeah, he's armed and dangerous, and he's just gonna keep on spamming his ultimate. One thing to note is that since Pichu has a 0 retreat value, I can start feeding my other Dratini. Yeah, I can just do this. But keep in mind, to get him to attack, we do have to feed him with Pichu, because this is a full water type deck. You can very much run dual type, but I feel like this is more consistent. So, yeah. Also, this deck was made by J-Hub. I probably should have mentioned this earlier in the video, but yeah, he used this deck in the previous tournament, got to top 4. So if you guys are questioning if this deck is good or not, I'm also questioning. I mean, it is high risk, high reward, but at the same time, if you get very lucky, kind of messed up here, I'll be honest. I should have not evolved into Dragonite, but I feel like towards this game, you might as well, because it's going to be super hard to build this guy up. Because keep in mind, you can only feed Dratini and Lightning Energy. Dragonite cannot, because Pichu only works against bench basic Pokemon. So yeah, I feel like I did make a mistake there, but at the same time, it's basically at this point in the game, it's really up to this Dragonite popping off. So of course, you want to get him out as fast as possible. Kind of talking a lot, but a lot to explain. Hopefully that made sense. At this point, this is where the deck kind of bricks, but hey, look at that. We got another Lyra. So as I was stating earlier, this is my 3rd time using Giga Impact. So yeah, again, a lot of RNG, but very satisfying to pull off. Very much indeed. Might as well feed, sure, yeah, feed him, retreat, easy, one shot. Yeah, this guy's an absolute monster, man. Doing 180 damage, that doesn't require as much of a build-up as let's say Charizard EX, the Genetic Apex one. And yeah, with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in PvP. All right, here we are in our first battle. Not the best. I'll be honest, our first turn, oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. It's not over, because keep in mind, this Dragonite's pretty good depending on certain scenarios. And this is a very good scenario right here, because as you can see, we are going against Oricorio, the Nightmare Bird. So if he evolves into EX, this guy can just tank that. Yeah, this is pretty rough. We're gonna play this rather slow. At this point, I might as well, yeah, I'll just do a little bit of damage onto this Oricorio. We pretty much need to pull a Pichu. So we do have Sylveon. Please don't red card. Again, one red card or Mars can just lose you the game. Okay, he subs into Pichu. Yeah, probably feeding, interesting, feeding Swinub. Perfect, I got Pichu. Might as well Sylveon. Okay, sure. This can work. This is where it gets rather scary because I could use Rare Candy, yeah. But again, Dragonite doesn't benefit from Pichu whatsoever, so I have to play it like this. A feed, Crackly Toss. Okay, yeah. And in a couple turns, this guy can attack. I feel like there's probably better decks you want to invest in, but when it comes to Dragonite, if you want to run a deck with Dragonite, this looks somewhat promising. But at the same time, yeah, very RNG dependent, but again, got top 4 in a tournament. So yeah, that tournament had like what, like 258 players? I'm looking right now, 452. At this point, this is pretty good. He didn't Mars or red card because that would have messed me up. At this point, I might as well start doing this. I could evolve twice, but for now, I'm just going to do this. Next turn, this Pichu is dead. We had a pretty good advantage. So for now, feed this Dragonite. And yeah, as you can see, I can Rare Candy, but I'm not gonna because I want to crack the toss one more turn. Setting up for a couple more turns just in case this Dragonite somehow dies. Yeah, feeding this Dratini. But this Dragonite is no joke. Still pretty tanky. Not as tanky as the EX, of course, but that 20, it's only 20 damage. Oh, okay. Alright. That was like the biggest blue ball ever. You saw what I was cooking though. Next turn, he could have just destroyed his whole field. Dragonite, non-EX Dragonite is basically Exodia in some scenarios. Granted, it is a bit of RNG. Again, he did kind of blue ball me. He blue balled all of us. And yeah, although you do want to get Dragonite EX built as fast as possible, you are going to run into scenarios where building the non-EX is a lot more beneficial. Again, if you're going against Oricorio. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, next battle going second. Ideally, you do want to have a Pichu out turn 1. Interesting, we're going against a Moltres. All right, this is looking somewhat promising. Very good hand. The main downside, of course, is that we have Eevee interactive. We are kind of forced to do this. But looking at our hand, again, as long as he doesn't mess us up, this red carding or Mars, I keep saying that, but I can't emphasize that enough, because that will definitely just lose us the game. Crackly Toss, feed Dratini, and in a couple turns, Dragonite is fully built. And keep in mind, in an alternate future, if we did leave with Pichu, next turn Dragonite is just built. So yeah, just getting insane advantage one-shotting this Moltres, and at that point, he's not really getting much value unless he gets super lucky with his first turn using Inferno Dance. All right, he only got 1 energy. Perfect. Feeding Ninetales. Ninetales is pretty scary. Can do 90 damage. At this point, let's see. We might play this a little bit differently. Hopefully we can get... Damn, that's pretty rough. Okay, we can definitely cook with this. We can definitely cook with this. Might as well put another guy down. At this point, evolve with Rare Candy. Evolving this Dragonite, feeding him 1. So next turn, he's fully built. And at this point, we might as well maximize Pichu. Crackly Toss. Feeding this Dratini. So worst case scenario, if we do have to sub out of this Dragonite, then we can just attack, hopefully by then, with another Dragonite EX or non-EX Dragonite. Yeah, getting one more turn with Moltres. But it doesn't really matter that much because we do have Lyra. Keep in mind, very good combo. Let's see. So in 2 turns, Ninetales paired with Magmar, if he attacks with both, he's only doing 140. All right, perfect. At this point, might as well evolve into another Dragonite. And he can't do much, man. This guy's deck, I mean, his backline is fully built, but look at ours. Do this, retreat, 180 damage. Moltres is dead. All I need now is 1 more point. This guy has to attack 1 more time, and he probably knows. He's looking at this and he's like, damn, I see that attack ability. I know he can't attack next turn, but guess what? If he attacks me at least once, Lyra. All right, right now, he only has 1 card that could... He blazes, okay. Or not blazes, Blaines. I was going to say, the only card that could mess him up is either a red card or Mars. If he Marses right now, he's getting insane value because I have 2 Lyras. And if I don't use Lyra next turn, I pretty much lost. All right, GG. Yeah, this is very nice. So as you can see, I attacked with Dragonite last turn, so he can't attack. But guess what? Lyra just coming in clutch, subbing in this Pichu. He's just here to say hi. Yeah, just here to say hi. Might as well flex the golden Pokeball because pay to play. But guess what? No, he's coming back. Dragonite is coming back, one-shotting this innocent bird, what the fuck? Fox Pokemon. Look at that. You love to see that. Very interesting. Again, very similar to Buzzwole EX in playstyle. Does require a very precise and proper setup, but again, high risk, high reward. All right, next battle going first. Perfect. Finally leading with Pichu. Main downside is that this Pichu will die in a couple of turns because of Darkrai's attack ability. Could be a little bit better. We still need a rare candy. But at this point, Silver, let's see what he has. All right, so given my deck, PC Lady doesn't really do much. So if anything, let's see. If anything, yeah, let's shuffle the Cyrus because I feel like that might be more beneficial. Either that or Leaf. It's really hard to tell. But yeah, PC Lady, don't shuffle that because this guy can one-shot. Enough said. All right, so yeah, Pichu feeding Dratini. All right, all he does is attack with Darkrai. At this point, please. I just need a rare candy and I'm pretty much set. Sylveon, Pichu. Okay, nice. At this point, I have to do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill like this. On the bright side is that I could very much lead with this guy, this Dragonite, and he might get some pretty good value in this battle because he only has one Pokemon. So keep in mind, since he has only one Pokemon, this Dragonite is doing 200 damage just to this Darkrai. Okay, Pichu is dead, much expected. Yeah, subbing in this Pichu. Okay, yeah, this is where high risk, high reward really comes in because I could win if I get a rare candy or anything good. This is why Sylveon is here in this deck to boost your chances on getting the cards you need. But if you can't get an EV out, then tough luck. This is what you're gonna run into. This is why, I mean, again, it got the top 4, very interesting, but personally, if you're very high up there in the ranking system, this deck might give you nightmares. It very much can because you're definitely gonna run into scenarios like this. If he's Sabrina's, I basically lost, and he does. Yeah. I just wanna give me one more turn, man. I wanna know what my next card is because I could have easily won if I got a rare candy, and I couldn't. Yeah, what's my next card? Giratina. So I had really no chance. This guy won't kill a baby, right? The common do not kill a baby tactic. This might work. If not, then Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris has no soul. I'm pretty sure he's dead now, so his soul is gone. Actually, no, he's not dead. He's still alive. Yeah, if he kills, then Chuck Norris has no soul. He does. Okay, yeah, this was against Giratina as well. Damn. Yeah, I feel like this deck would have gotten insane value if I got a good setup. Against Giratina, there's really nothing he could have done. But of course, RNG begged to differ. Just, yeah, the game wanted me to lose this. And with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in ranked. Not really that optimistic, but again, there's been several decks I've used in the past. They have blown my expectations. Like, I would do pretty bad in casual battle, but somehow I'd get the best setup ever in ranked. And yeah, we shall see. All right, here we are in ranked battle. Interesting. Going against a lightning deck. So we might get some pretty good value again. Playing this non-EX Dragonite. All I need now is Dratini, please. If not, then this would be very bad. Okay, so let's see what he has. What is he cooking? Okay, on the bright side, he has a pretty bad hand as well. I wonder, is he using the same deck? Wait a minute. This might be a mirror match. Oh, holy crap. Okay. Yeah, Lyra is gone. Okay, but instead he's using Mantike. So, okay, slightly different. Instead of using Pichu, he's using Mantike, and of course running Lightning Energy. At this point, I have to do this. Just, it hurts. Because, again, this is basically a mirror match. His deck is probably most likely very identical to mine, but it's up to who gets the best hand. So, Pokeballs, what's he gonna get? You got a Cleffa, okay. So, he might be, okay. He's getting a pretty bad hand as well. All right, what am I looking at? What is this? Like, okay, sure, at this point, I might as well, okay, just chill like this. All we need now is a Dratini, please. Oh, okay, it might be over, man. Okay, I'm losing it. This is, again, I want to be super transparent with my deck showcases. I want to show it how it is, just my experience with the deck. Your experience may be different because, again, high risk, high reward. Can't stop saying that because, okay, on the bright side, the next card we get, this Pokemon, will help us out a lot. Of course, we can't get Dratini. Okay, Sylveon can help us out. We have 9 cards, he has 10. So at this point, in a couple of turns, we can definitely get Dragonite out. So it's really up to who can get the card out first. And he got Dragonair out. One-shotting this Eevee. Perfect. Okay, finally, dude. Holy crap. So we can do this. This is all we could really do right now. I might as well... Sure, this Pichu's most likely gonna die next turn, so put another Eevee out. Crackly Toss. He's winning, because if he can red card or Mars me, There's no way, man. I just lost. Okay, yeah. This is gonna be very interesting because I have two choices. I can either run with Dragonite EX or the non-EX version, which is... Okay, on the bright side, if I use Dragonite, I'm attacking this turn. If I don't, then for this Dragonite, I'm attacking next turn. I might be overthinking this, so at this point... Okay, this is where it gets very interesting. This might mess me up, but Heart of Cards. I believe I'm trusting in this Dragonite because, oh gosh, dude, this is very awkward. Because keep in mind, my Dragonite won't be able to take damage, so we can't do the Lyra combo. Oh gosh, I'm running out of time. Yeah, this is not good. Crackly Toss. Feed the Dragonite. Feed the Dragonite. You do it. Fuck. Okay. On the bright side, doing that doesn't really do much. But yeah, the reason why I didn't evolve into this guy, because in my opinion, it doesn't really matter as much. Because let's say I do attack with Dragonite this turn. He's most likely not going to attack Dragonite. So this Dragonite will be at full health, meaning that we can't use Lyra. And so we can't do the combo. We can't do the switch out combo. Okay, this is pretty scary because he did evolve into 2 Dragonites. But in this point in the game, it's up to RNG, man. I can definitely just one-shot one of the Dragonites and then win next turn. But at the same time, looking at his deck, he does have that Dragonite out as well. What are the chances that I would be going against like a somewhat mirror deck? This is... Okay. Very interesting. So for now, Draco Meteor. Ideally for this, I do want to kill the Mantike, of course. Pretty promising. This is promising, but keep in mind he has 1 point. So he just has to target these 2 Pichus and I'm dead. So it's really up to this how this Dragonite is feeling. Alright, moment of truth. He's attacking. Okay. That was a pretty good scenario. Now, I could win if I hit this guy 4 times. Alright, here we go, I believe. So, all RNG, I could definitely just win this game if I hit this guy for 150 or hit this guy for 200. So, Heart of Cards, I believe. Lyra, what is going on with your hand? Is that a gang sign? Don't want to get into that. There's a lot of gangs in Pokemon, so... Okay, GG! Okay! That was oddly stressful. That was needlessly stressful. This is the first time I've ever gone against this deck in ranked, and yeah, as you can see, Dragonite's the best. This Dragonite specifically, and the other one as well, but this one can give you nightmares. I'm definitely going to have a nightmare going to sleep after this. And yeah, if you go into the comments saying that I could have played Dragonite EX, maybe. I might have been overthinking it, but at the same time, trust in this non-EX Dragonite. This guy is the absolute GOAT. And yeah, that was the Dragonite deck showcase. Very stress-inducing. This is the last time I'll say this. I just can't stop reiterating it. High risk, high reward. That's how you're gonna feel. That's how the deck's gonna feel. Yeah, you're gonna very much feel it. But again, very unique. I feel like when it comes to playstyle, it is very interesting and very unique because again, there's gonna be some instances where like you could evolve into Dragonite, but depending on your bench, if your Dratinis aren't fed at least 1 lightning energy by then you might have to hold off on evolving those said Pokemon in order to maximize Pichu's ability. And yeah, overall, I'd rate this deck B tier. Just solid B. If you want to use this in ranked, I really don't recommend doing so because I feel like there's far better decks that are more consistent. You're going to run into a lot of instances where like it takes you super long to build up Dragonite. And in this meta is very fast paced. So like let's think about like Suicune, Greninja decks. Greninja can just beat up the Pichus. Just like flat out beat them up. And then looking at Sylveon's a liability. So let's say, yeah, Greninja does end up destroying Pichu in a couple of turns. Because of the Greninja Cyrus combo, your opponent can just hard target the Sylveons in your bench. And you might lose before Dragonite even gets out on the field. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you guys found this video informative as well as a bit entertaining. I tried to be. And again, I highly appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It really does help me out as a small-time content creator. That's pretty much the video. And I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.